Last week's hearings into the long-term plan. The Lake Okaro Catchment Lake Restoration Group is holding a field day on Friday, and Rotorua's wearable creation sets a new benchmark with a $20,000 prize pack. Those stories and more coming up next on City News. Rotorua District Councillor Charles Sturt says he was impressed with the quality of submissions at last week's hearings into the long-term plan. However, he says overall submissions were down on previous years. Mr Sturt says he thinks people don't realise the importance of having a say about the plan.
Mixed messages in terms of the rating review, in terms of going to capital rating or retaining the present system. Certainly the public, by the lack of submissions in my view, because they haven't made submissions, was that the information that they got wasn't detailed enough. They don't know the long-term implications. And we're talking 10 years, not just this year. We're talking what's going to happen.
It's a decade, isn't it? Yeah.
Absolutely. And in 3 years' time, when the new valuations come in, what's going to be the impact? In 3 years after that, and so on.
And Charles Sturt also commented on the Prime Minister's statement earlier this week that councils could sell assets to relieve debt. He says he disagrees with the Prime Minister. However, he says councils should continue to work toward providing core services.
I mean, if we've got excess reserves that aren't being used and cost too much money, we'll look at de-accessionising those. But in terms of councils, councils need to get back to core services, I agree. This council, over many, many years, and by choice, has got into the social areas. And I think that's where the push will come, that council needs to get out of those. But if we do get out of them, will the government pick up the cudgels? I don't think so.
That's right. And we'll have more from Councillor Charles Sturt later in tonight's City News. Students from schools throughout the Bay of Plenty will gather in Papamoa Thursday and Friday to help shape our future at this year's Youth Jam. The Regional Council event gives young leaders the opportunity to see how the region can be part of their future. Students from Western Heights High School will join 60 others from around the Bay to take part in a series of activities where students look at career opportunities, community mapping and connecting with council. On Friday, the Lake Okaro Catchment Lake Restoration Group is holding a field day at Lake Okaro near Rainbow Mountain. The Lake Restoration Group will present the results of their restoration projects. Secretary Megan Birchall says the day is open to everyone and is a great opportunity to meet the members of the Restoration Group.
Well, we've just come to the end of our Sustainable Farming Fund project, or we're coming to the end. So on Friday we're having a field day. It's for anyone, it's for the whole public, and we're just going to go. Well, first we'll start off telling everyone a little bit about the wetlands and how that, how it works and why it was made, and we'll just sort of talk about the group and the group dynamics. We'll go for a bit of a walk and just have a look at a few of the projects that we've done within the catchment. And then we've got someone talking about the different trials that have been undertaken in the lake, how effective the wetlands actually is. And then the consultant that's been doing our overseer work will present to everyone what the final results of our overseer analysis has been. I'll also talk a little bit about what we've actually done within the catchment to get those results and yeah.
The Lake Okaro Field Day is on Friday starting at 10:30, and for more information you can email Megan, that's Megan Birchall @hotmail.com. Rotorua's Wearable Creations event has set a new benchmark for its entrance, with a confirmation this week that the supreme winner of the 2012 awards will receive a return trip for two to Italy and a 10-day Mediterranean cruise. The prize package is worth more than $20,000 and is sponsored by Harvey World Travel. Wearable Creations chairwoman Barbara Cook says the Trust and Organising Committee are absolutely delighted to be able to offer the sponsored prize to a deserving supreme winner. Entries for the 2012 Wearable Creations are now open and close on Monday the 18th of June. So for more information visit wearablecreations, again one word, .co.nz. And in sport tonight, into Bay-wide rugby news, an injury crisis is starting to take its toll on last year's grand finalist Whakarewarewa as the team goes another week without a win. Taking on Mount Maunganui at Blake Park at the weekend, Whakarewarewa managed to turn a win into a 20-all draw. Leading 17-7 at half-time, Whaka suffered another season-ending injury to midfielder Courtney Meter with a possible dislocated shoulder. Last week, open-side flanker Liam Coleman was ruled out for the season with a compound fracture to the left thumb. Bad news also for Waikite as they went down 52-21 to Rangatau. However, Rotorua pride was carried by Rotoiti with a 26-18 win over Greerton Marist. So well done, guys. To the weather now, Rotorua, brought to you by Trevor Robson Signs and Graphics Limited. Tonight we're in for fine weather, light winds and an overnight low of 0. It's getting colder. Tomorrow, Wednesday, fine weather, morning fog or mist, light winds and a high of 14 with a low of 0 again. The long range for Thursday, fine with morning fog or mist, light winds, a high of 15 and a low of 4. To the marine forecast for Lake Rotorua for Wednesday, variables to 5 knots. Low waves and long fine spells. And if you missed any of tonight's bulletin, you can watch it again by going to tvrotorua.co.nz and click on View Latest City News. Or to view what's on in our city, click on the upcoming events. Still to come tonight on City News, I talk with Bay of Plenty Regional Council Water Management Group Manager Eddie Grogan. We take a look at the winners of the New Zealand Post Children's Book Awards, and Charles Sturt gives us his reaction to last week's hearings into the long-term plan.